প্রিয় দর্শক, গৌরবের ৭১ নয়, কিন্তু গৌরবের ৭১-এর বিষয় নিয়ে এসেছি। আমার কেন যেন ধারণা যে আপনাদের কাছে গৌরবের ৭১ নিয়ে প্রোগ্রাম করতে করতে, আপনাদের সামনে আসতে আসতে আপনাদেরও ধারণা হতে পারে যে আজকে হয়তো শনিবার না, আজকে শনিবার না, আজকে গৌরবের ৭১-এর দিন না, কিন্তু আজকে ২৬শে মার্চ, আমাদের স্বাধীনতা দিবস। অত্যন্ত আনন্দের দিন এবং বেদনার দিন। বেদনা থেকেই অর্জিত হয়েছে স্বাধীনতা। কিন্তু আমি যদি এভাবে কথা বলতে থাকি তাহলে বাকিরা কি বলবে? সুতরাং প্রথমেই আমি আমার অতিথিদের সঙ্গে পরিচয় করিয়ে দেব। এবং এই অতিথিরা আজকে যারা আমার এখানে এসছে, এরা সবাই বর্তমান প্রজন্মের। আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠানটা এভাবেই করা আজকে, আপনারা জানেন। তবুও ভালোবাসি নামে অনুষ্ঠানটা হচ্ছে। তবুও কেন ডট 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 স্টিল। ওদেরকে জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলাম কাদেরকে, তাদের সঙ্গে এই পরিচয় করিয়ে দিই। আছে বর্তমান প্রজন্মে আমার সঙ্গে সৌরভ জামান, তারপরে আছে পপি বেগম,
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
তারপরে একদম কোনায় মাহাথির, সৈয়দ মাহাথির পাশা।
That's right, yeah.
তোমার নামটা আমি ঠিক মতো বলার জন্য রেডি হয়ে আছি। এখন দেখি শারমিনেরটা পারি কিনা। শাশ্বতী শারমিন কাব্য। জি, ওকে। তো এরা আমাকে বেশ কি বলা যায়, এমন সুন্দর একটা সম্ভাষণ করলো। Such a nice greetings, and I feel so wonderful having you, all of you here. It's going to be a very nice show because you all are, you know, in your own way, you are already achieving something. That's why Bangla TV has chosen you to invite you to come here on this special occasion, which is the Independence Day of Bangladesh. Saurabh is an accountant, very young accountant. And then Poppy is a journalist, broadcast journalist, also very young. Can't believe how you do that, all those dairy stuff.
I don't know about young.
And how do you deal with this maths? I never could figure it out.
I never thought actually I would be accountant, but
really? Okay, this is what we are going to talk. I mean, we would like to know, whatever you are, did you ever wanted to be? Okay, we'll come to that point. Okay. Remind me after a while.
All right.
Okay, and Mahathir, still, I think he's the youngest of the lot. Doing your A-levels?
A-levels, that's right, yeah.
And I've seen you, you are a young activist. I've seen you in Shohid Minar, right, as a baby, going with your father.
I do like to participate in as many Bengali events that I can.
All right, thank you. And Kabbo, you have got a beautiful name, poetry, which I want to be a poet, actually. Kabbo, and you are studying psychology.
Yes, I'm in my first year now.
But whatever it is, our show is called Tobuo Valobashi. Shall we start with that? If we say, do you really love Bangladesh? Or do you love Bangladesh? What would be the answer? Please say yes.
Shall I start?
No, I'm asking everyone. What do you think?
I love Bangladesh, yes.
Oh, how nice.
Definitely.
Yes. You can squeak a little hogre, you can shout. It's a German. Okay, tell me why. Give me one reason why. You think about it while I'm talking to my audience, and I'm coming back to you. Give me one good reason. আমি জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলাম একটি মেয়ে, সে এখানে আছে, এই দেশে অনেক দিন থেকে আছে, এবং তাকে সবাই, সে বাংলাদেশে গেলে অনেক কিছু হয়, ঝামেলা হয়, তারপরেও বলে যে আমার তো বাংলাদেশ ভালো লাগে। তখন এক ফিল্ম মেকার ছিলেন আমার বন্ধু, উনি বলছিলেন তুমি এত বাংলাদেশ ভালোবাসো কেন? বলে, ডু আই হ্যাভ এনি রিজন টু লাভ মাই ওন কান্ট্রি? And I thought that was What do you think, Poppy?
I love Bangladesh because it has this spirit of joy. Every time I go back, it's only been twice in my 28 years that I've gone back. Everyone I see, from poor young kids to my cousins, to my uncles, to my mama, my sassas, they have this smile. It's like a cheeky smile, a little glint in their eye, and I just think, for me, that's the spirit of Bangladesh. That's what I hold very dear to me and what I cherish.
Right. Okay, Saurabh, how about the myths about Bangladesh in this country? Are they very positive?
Well,
and the reality, just tell me about the myths and the reality. Guys, you might butt in. Just feel free. Okay.
Well, but that means actually we have here, well, those people, obviously, I born in Bangladesh, obviously I have seen the reality, and after coming here, obviously changed a bit over the period, because I have obviously grown up with many people who born here, and obviously they had their different strategy and different thinking about the Bangladesh.
Well, let's think of, what do you think when he said different? What is this different means to you? Do you think it's positive?
Well, there definitely is a difference, I think, in our generation, and in terms of how close we are with Bangladesh and the touch we have in Bangladesh than with our, say, my parents' generation. They're definitely a lot closer, I think. And now I think there's been, unfortunately, we are drifting apart from our rich.
You think so?
Sorry,
Yes,
can I just
please,
interrupt?
yeah, please interrupt.
Today, I was telling these guys earlier on that on the street, I asked 10 people, young people, randomly, do you know what day it is today? And only one person could tell me what day it was today. And when I told them about the independence, Bangladeshi independence, their attitude was, it was met with indifference. It was just like, oh, okay then.
Right, we are going to talk about it. Are we losing some kind of connection? How is the bridge is about? But let me go back to Shourab's point. He said he actually had things about Bangladesh, or the perception of the people of Bangladesh. They are very different. Kabbo, what do you think? When he said different, those different things, are they positive about Bangladesh in this country, or what?
I'm personally the same position as you. I'm not born here. I'm born in Bangladesh, and I came here when I was 10.
Okay, you were 10.
Yeah, and I personally noticed a difference. I think what a lot of people in this country don't realise is the positive things going on in our country, and it's sort of, if you look at the main sort of news, what you'll find is always it's the negative news that gets highlighted. You never hear about the positive changes that our countries have made.
So why do you think the negativity gets the preference in the news? Don't say that bad news is a news, good news is not a news, but there must be, like, think about the other country, the neighboring country, how they are handling their own people who are British Indian or British Pakistani. I mean, I sometimes feel like, there isn't enough people, our people, to protect or to explain. Yes, please.
I think the media definitely has some hand in our perception of and our relationship with Bangladesh, but I think it starts 2 steps closer to the community and to the family home. Because if your parents or your community aren't really teaching you about the language, the culture, the history, if you speak to my little brother now, he can only string 2 words of Bengali. It's mostly in English. So when young people lose that language, they lose all the things that are connected with that language. The culture, the background, all those rich things are kind of lost in the language. And if mum and dad can't speak to you or sit you down and say, let me tell you about what happened in 1971, pre-1971, it gets lost because the child can't really understand Bengali, and mum and dad can't really converse in English. I mean,
so what is it that we are missing? And do you think it is necessary to let them know what is the real culture of Bangladesh, what the history? Guys, give me an answer. Like, what are the resources or the source of your information about Bangladesh? Poppy, how do you get to know Bangladesh?
I got to know Bangladesh from only 2 visits. From those 2 visits in my whole life, I loved it.
Okay.
My parents also sent me to Bangla school, so I learnt how to speak Bengali. And me, myself, I think it all starts from within here. I am incredibly proud about being a Bengali. I'm curious, I want to learn about my background.
Okay. And what is your source?
Well, as I said, obviously, I born in there. So obviously, I know a lot about Bangladesh. I've seen it personally, I witnessed many things. But there's a bit difference. When I was back home there, and the most of the information I've learned it through textbook, because obviously I never participated in any groups. I never done any sort of things like which I'm kind of doing, and I'm proud that I'm actually doing it. But after coming back here while I was studying, there was a lot of pressure. But it's still like in UK, like there are a lot of communities, Bengali communities.
So we have got now 2 sources here. One is the book, another one is the people. How about you? You were here, you born here. How did you know about Bangladesh, the history? And if you want to know, where did you go?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with these guys over here. The people, the communities that we have here already established are fundamental. But for me, I think my parents were the main thing. My mum and dad, from a young age, they're always telling me about the history, the culture, everything that's happening around Bangladesh, and trying to make me very much a British Bangladeshi and not just a British citizen. And I think that's what made my view on Bangladesh so positive, because they were able to tell me about it. And I think coming back to your point about language, language is extremely important, but it's not always that easy to learn a new language, particularly when your whole life is resolving around English. But I don't think the language has to be a barrier for you to learn. I think you can still learn about the culture, you can still learn about the rich history of Bangladesh as well. And I do think, well, you don't have to speak, if you go to Bangladesh now, English is an international language.
Right.
There's so many people speaking English in Bangladesh as well.
I'm dying to get one answer. Let me see what Kabbo says. Kabbo, apart from all these sources, how people can learn about Bangladesh, the real history.
I think for me what it was just visiting it. I go every year, I visit it, and I'm from there, and I speak the language. So for me,
Guys,
I think I know what you're talking about. Bangla TV?
What do I
Is it Bangla TV you're talking about?
No,
is that the source?
No,
Is that the source you're talking about?
Internet, all this Google, it's just one click away.
Yeah, but before you get to everything's a click away these days, but you have to want to know about it.
and
Yeah.
you have to
really
You have to,
experience
you
it.
have
you
to,
know.
everything is at your fingertips. But before you get there, you have to, instead of watching The Simpsons or watching a cartoon or going out or whatever it is young people do these days, it was Simpsons in my day, you have to say, okay, today I'm not watching TV, I'm not watching EastEnders, I'm making a cup of tea, and I'm going to sit in front of
Very
the laptop
interesting
and
views
watch, and
very
Google.
positive. I thought all of you are going to, well, I just searched and I found out by Google. You are going to say that. Well, now it's about the people. Why some of the people in here, they are British Bangladeshis as well. But we know, we have got the information that they don't know any history or anything. I mean, they could find out in the internet. They could do. Why is that? Why they're losing it? You guys are going. They are going to Bangladesh. But the real history, why they're missing it?
Well, what I think actually there is a generation gap there, and there's a gap of information.
আচ্ছা সৌরভ, তুমি বাংলাও অনেক ভালো বলতে পারো, কারণ আমাদের আজকে কিছু টার্গেটেড অডিয়েন্স আছে যারা ইংরেজিতে শুনবে। কেন বলো তো একটা তোমাদের মতো ইয়াং পিপল কেন ওরা লুজ করলো সত্যিকারের হিস্ট্রিটা?
Well,
রিসোর্সেস আছে তোমাদের মতো, ওরাও তো দেশে যায়, তোমাদের মতো ওরাও তো ইন্টারনেট থেকে পেতে পারে।
ওকে, বাট তারপরও এখানে যে একটা পজিটিভ যেটা আছে, এখানে আমাদের বাঙালিতে ইসলামের আমাদের যে কমিউনিটি যে কাজগুলো হয়, এবং আমাদের এই কমিউনিটিতে আমি কমিউনিটি কাজ জয়েন করার পর আমাদের অনেকেই আমার যখন পরিচয় হয়, লাইক এদেশের যারা বোনের বোটা, তারা আমাদের সাথে এসে যখন কাজ করে, তারা দে আর রিয়েলি ইন্টারেস্টেড। বাট এটা যেটা আমার মনে হয় আসলে আমরা তাদেরকে ওভাবে ইন্টারেস্টেড হয়তো করতে পারি না। তারা জানতে চায়, তারা মুক্তিযোদ্ধার যে রিয়েল ইতিহাসটা, তারা মুক্তিযোদ্ধার সাথে কথা বলতে চায়। ইভেন তাদের ফ্যামিলিরও অনেক মুক্তিযোদ্ধা বা অনেকেই দেশের সাথে জড়িত ছিল, বাট তারা এই টাস্কটা, আমাদের যে টাস্কটা আসলে কেউ ওইভাবে মনে দিতে পারে না।
কাব্যর কাছে যাব, ওর কথা কম শুনেছি। কাব্য, কেন বলতো, মানে কিছু মানুষ তো সত্যি সত্যি মুক্তিযুদ্ধের ইতিহাস নিয়ে বিভ্রান্ত। ওরা মানে কেন দে আর কনফিউজড উইথ দ্যাট, about the truth of Bangladesh, the real history of Bangladesh, the spirit of 71. কি মনে হয় তোমাদের সঙ্গেই তো বন্ধুদের? That's what I'm asking.
I personally don't, sort of my peers don't tend to be Bangladeshi, unfortunately, because of where I've grown up, and I don't know a lot of Bangladeshis our age. But what I found is that usually what happens is they hear different stories from different people, and I think because it's mostly based on opinion, everyone gives their encounter of how they felt, and there's not a lot of coverage about what the truth was. I think when I try and search, I have tried myself to search up what happened during 71, and often what I find is interviews rather than an in-depth story about the stories that have happened. I will usually find an interview of someone telling their personal views on it rather than a factual.
Do you think some people are really lazy, just do not bother?
I personally think that, and this is very complex, it's not just one reason, but I think the biggest factor behind this is parents and family and community not showing Bangladesh in the beautiful light that it deserves to be shown in. Like you were mentioning, the media representation doesn't add to it. The fact that, things are a click away, you don't get those anecdotes, you don't get those real stories, it's just a one-to-one interview about things that happen and that's it. You know, it's a combination of all those things, I think.
But, you know, Mahathir, who are this media? They are also people. Why media is always depicting it? Have we got our own people in their media, in the media? Well,
I think it's very important to mention that Bangladesh definitely has a lot of potential, and we can be a great nation. And I think the greater we become, the more proud people from all over the world, and as you know, there's Bangladeshis living all over the world, the more proud they all feel. And I think there has to be established democratic culture in Bangladesh as well, where politics can be more stable. I think that's a key issue here, is when politics gets a bit messed up, there can be tricky situations of trying to express the, you know, the positive light of Bangladesh, because I think the media now are very much orientated around the political situation and that sort of thing, and that goes all over the place when there's no fundamental political culture.
Actually he's very right about that. Amader jara apar friend ache, not only Bangladeshi, like from different countries, obviously they're very interested about Bangladesh. So তারা যখন টিভি দেখে বা বিভিন্ন জায়গায় নিউজ শুনে, তারা মনে করে যে বাংলাদেশের এই পলিটিক্স বা বিভিন্ন ধরনের যে জিনিসগুলো, কারেন্ট সিচুয়েশনগুলো, তারা এটা মনে করে যে বিগ প্রবলেম।
People are scared to go to Bangladesh for a holiday.
But they'll go to India instead.
Yes,
they always learn, they always listen the bad things, but obviously there are many good things. But
who's going to flag up? If you guys are going to be accountant, doctor, engineer, and businessman, not in the media, not in the theater, not in the drama, or not.
Well, I actually want to be a journalist as well.
Okay, yeah, but you know, this is why we picked up, you know, some of you to talk about it. Don't you think that there should be more diversity in your job and profession? Can you go and choose your something that you want to be, or is it still parents are deciding?
I think that's
I think that used to be actually, but nowadays it's
I think it's definitely developing a lot more now. I think it's definitely developed.
I think it's definitely free now, but I think what's happened is there's a lot more opportunities for sort of Bangladeshis in certain fields, because we know other Bangladeshis, we tend to know, you know, your mama, your tata, whatever, they tend to be in that same career path, and what happens is you have the connection and it's more easy for you to go to those routes, and you tend to keep following on.
এখানে আরেকটা অ্যাড করার আমরা যেটা ফিল করি, এখন আমরা অনেকটা ওপেন মাইন্ডেড এবং সবাই তাদের নিজের চিন্তা চেতনা ধারণাটা নিজে ডিসাইড করতে আমরা শিখছি। Obviously আমাদের ফ্যামিলি বলে দেয় যেটা যে ওকে ইউ হ্যাভ টু ডু দ্যাট, ইউ হ্যাভ টু ডু দ্যাট।
Don't you think we guys are backdated and we don't have that much information that you would have? And how would I decide something that I don't know for my child?
I think one thing that's very important, again, is coming back to the history of Bangladesh, and I think I'm studying history at A-levels, and I intend to pursue it at university as well. And when you look at history, you're never going to find a situation where there's just clearly, explicitly something is right and something is wrong. That's dating back to old Whiggish history that we had in about the 1970s. It's changed. There's been a rise of relativism as part of liberal democracies, which we all live in. There's been a situation where there's postmodernists now, where people say, you know, is anything right? Is anything really wrong? That's this new culture that's rising, and you won't be able to very explicitly make clear what the history was. And I think if people are a bit more aware of the history and develop a bit more historical strategy as well, they'll be able to analyze the situation and be able to filter out the distorted information that sometimes they can be presented, and then come to a conclusion about history of Bangladesh, and subsequently like a lot more.
Well, I could talk to you for the whole day and night. Listen, we are going to wind up soon, but you know, before I wind up, can I ask one question that, you know, just specifically, like, you guys have you got plan, like short term or long term, to do something for Bangladesh? Just, you know, very briefly, what is your plan? In which area and which sector that you think you would be useful? Is it about the image of Bangladesh? Is it about really practically gathering some experience or doing, like, make a difference?
I'm trying to make a difference with my parents' generation, but also with the younger generation, because that bridge
like
is not linked. Well, I've got my own program on Betar Bangla Radio, and I have, you know, it's a station where it's listened, a lot of slightly older listeners
Okay,
are
thank
tuning
you,
in.
Poppy. I have to be really brief. Sorry, in my ear they're saying.
Essentially, the bottom line is I'm trying to change the image of Bangladesh.
Okay, in your program and how
Okay,
you're doing it.
ওকে আপা আমি যেটা চাই অবভিয়াসলি আমি এখানে বিভিন্ন ধরনের যে কমিউনিটি প্রোগ্রাম আছে এবং আমি পার্টিসিপেট করতে চাই এবং বিভিন্ন এই প্রোগ্রামের মধ্যে আমি আমার নিজেকে অনেক
Tell me something, that one specific thing that you are
I just really
engaged
want to be
with.
part of it, and I just really want to do something that
And
that help
anything
all
that
of
you
us.
are doing.
Yes.
I know one
Well,
thing.
yes, আমি অনেক বেশ কিছু কমিউনিটি গ্রুপের সাথে এখানে একসাথে কাজ করি
Okay, all right.
বিভিন্ন প্রোগ্রামে এবং কমিউনিটি কালচারাল
But
যেটা
don't you? Okay. Oh, I have to go for the break.
Okay.
Just two people quickly.
Fundamentally, I'm embracing our culture, and I'm, like you said, I'm an activist. I do like to get involved in as many cultural events as I possibly
And
can
you
as
are.
well.
And Tobuo?
I'm training to be a psychologist, and hopefully in the future I can train and be able to help people with
Read
more
our mind.
trauma.
Anyway, it's very positive, and it's really very inspiring for me. And smiles are wonderful. I really want to see, like Bangla TV, want to see you as a role model here to make a difference in this country for Bangladesh. প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা পপি, সৌরভ এবং মাহাথির এবং কাব্যর কাছ থেকে এখন বিদায় নেব, কিন্তু অনুষ্ঠানটি থাকবে। ব্রেকের পরেই আবার ফেরত আসবো। থাকুন, ওরা তবুও বাংলাদেশ ভালোবাসে।